have a number of problems that confront you in your everyday life, and we've come up with a 4-step toolkit to help you solve any problem that comes your way. So step 1 is to identify and reframe your problem. We've come up with 5 key buckets that you can look at to think about your problem in different ways. So first, identify who is the stakeholder, meaning who is actually impacted by the problem that you're trying to solve. Next, think about what is the root cause of the problem that you're trying to solve. Then, think about where are you confronted by this problem, or where are your stakeholders confronted by the problem. Then think about, when does this problem actually affect you? Is it a one-time problem? Is it an ongoing routine? Does it happen with some regular frequency? And try to think about how this fits in with the 3 other areas that you identified before. And finally, think about, why does this problem actually affect you? Why are you trying to solve this problem? And what benefits would people or the stakeholders you identified get out of this? Now on to step 2.
Okay, so the next step in the process is applying constrained problem solving. So after having identified and reframed your problem, it can sometimes be overwhelming to think of all of the different possibilities. However, you don't want to constrain yourself too much, and so you want to be aware of artificial constraints you might be imposing on your problem-solving process. So we've identified 2 easy tools that can be used to identify those constraints and apply them effectively. The first one is called 6 hats, and basically you can either do it by yourself or in a group, and the idea is to take on different perspectives about a problem. So the process perspective, blue, is basically coming up with the goals and objectives. What are you trying to solve for? What process are you going to follow in order to do that? Red.
Go.
So the red hat has to do with emotions. It's basically, how does this problem make you feel? What are you trying to solve for? Black is basically the devil's advocate role. So you're thinking about all the possible criticisms that anyone could come up with, either with respect to your problem or your potential solutions. Yellow is really positive. You're trying to think of all of the benefits as opposed to the criticisms. White is objective. It's just all of the information that you already know and the information that you want to find out. And then green is supposed to represent creativity. So you're generating new ideas and new possible solutions. Tool number B are 4 basic questions that you can try to answer to also help you apply constraints and also take away constraints if they really aren't applicable. So the first one is thinking about, what if you had unlimited money or time or resources in the world? What's the wildest solution you could think of? Second is, why don't others feel my pain? So here you're thinking about, what about this problem is unique to me? Can I learn from other people's experiences, or are there reasons that there are differences? Third is, where else would this work? So here, you can try moving the problem into a completely different context and seeing if it still remains the same or if key things change. And finally, you can ask about flipping the problem on its head. So for example, say you're having trouble getting to the doctor, but what if you could have a doctor come to you?
2, go.
So now in step 1 and step 2, we have looked at the problem through different scenarios. We identified different constraints, we looked at the problem through different perspectives, and now we have an understanding of what constraints need to be applied to the problem and how to come up with a solution. Now step 3 is the most exciting part. You come up with all sorts of ideas. So here we have all sorts of different cards and different slots for each of them, and you go run wild with imagination and come up with all sorts of solutions that are possible. Now that we have laid out all the ideas in front of us, let's take a step back, and preferably in a group, let's think about all these ideas and vote on them. So if you really like one of these ideas, put a green card there, and keep on voting on the good ideas, and place a red card on an idea that is not popular among the group at this point. Now, hold on to the failed ideas, because this might come handy later on.
The last step of the process is building a prototype. And so we have a box here for you to build or sketch out any of your ideas that you thought were most viable. And so the idea here is to just get a rough depiction of what your idea should look like, and it doesn't have to be a perfect model, but so you can start visualizing how it would be implemented.